was Christmas night 20 years ago when I saw him, but he looked different, and I now know to this day that what I saw back then was not Santa. He took my brother, poor little Tommy, snatched by the evil spirit of the night. I couldn't stop him, it was too late. It was Christmas night and I was 9 years old. I stayed up late with my brother watching Christmas movies until my mum came up and said we both had to go to bed because it was getting too late. Before we went to bed, me and Tommy put a plate of cookies and a glass of milk out for Santa, and also a little carrot for the reindeers. After that, me and Tommy said goodnight to our parents and raced up the stairs to bed. I couldn't get any sleep that night because I was so excited about the next day. But Tommy was out like a log, so laying there, staring at the ceiling, I couldn't help but notice a small hole right above me, just small enough to fit your little finger through. I stared at it for a while, and I could start to see pure white beyond it. I sat up to get a closer look, and when I got closer, my stomach dropped, as whatever it was moved. I quickly laid back down and put the covers over my head. Laying there trying to think of what it was, I came to the realisation that it was an eye. I quickly peeped out to have another look, but the hole was gone. Not a single scratch on the ceiling. How could that be? I plainly saw it right above me. I decided it was my imagination and tried to go back to sleep. Just as I was drifting off to sleep, I awoke to hear the door creaking open. Slowly and silently I looked up to see who it was. I could see an outline of a fat old man dressed all in red with a massive sack. It's him, Santa. I closed my eyes and waited for him to leave a present or stocking by my bed. I could hear the fat old man slowly walk up to me. He stood there right beside me. I waited for him to do something, but he just stood there doing nothing. All of a sudden he leaned over and was now right in my face. I could now feel his rancid breath on my cheek. It stank of rotten meat. His breathing intensified. I was now frightened. He then moved back and reached into his sack, slowly pulling out a massive gift. He left it by my bed and then walked over to Tommy. I watched him as he walked over and did the same thing he did to me, just stood there and watched him. He then leaned over and was breathing heavily again. He moved back and opened his sack. This time he didn't pull anything out. Suddenly there was a massive struggle as Santa started to put Tommy into his sack. I didn't know what to do. I was terrified. Tommy started to scream and struggle as he stuffed him in his sack. My dad heard all the commotion and ran into my room. Flicking on the light, putting Santa in plain sight, we could see his face as he left with Tommy through the bedroom window. Dark grey hair drooped down his face, with sickly yellow skin filled with wrinkles and little holes. His eyes were as white as snow and his teeth like razor blades. As he left, he turned and looked at us all, stretched open his mouth like a snake and let out a mighty ear-splitting screech. My dad ran to the window, but it was too late. Him and Tommy were completely gone. The police never found him, or Tommy. 20 years on, and I now have a family of my own. Me and my family went round our parents' house for Christmas. Searching through the attic, looking for Christmas decorations the other night, I came across a big box wrapped up in Christmas wrapping paper. Suddenly the memories flooded back of that terrible night, and I remembered that thing gave it to me as a gift. Slowly and nervously I opened the box. What I saw made me sick to my stomach. A pile of pictures of me and Tommy every Christmas for 9 years, soundly asleep in our beds. I was horrified. I threw the box away from me from shock. I then noticed where the box had been sitting was a little hole in the floor looking straight down into my old bedroom. I then realised the hole I saw in the ceiling all them years ago. He had been watching me. He sees you when you're sleeping.